Hello, 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 hello. I'm Angela Odom, and it is so exciting to be here. I am. Oh my goodness, I'm excited. Today is all about leading by examples. My name is Angela Odom, and I am a life and leadership coach and the founder of the Better You Project brand. Today we're discussing leadership, leading by example. And what's so important about that, right? So most of us anyway, we want more committed and invested team members. We want people really to get in, do the job, come in with a great attitude, perform for us, work overtime, be all invested. So what do we have to do? We have to walk it like we talk it, right? In other words, we have to lead by example. So welcome, come on in, come on in, come on in. The fact that you may have a well-deserved and well-earned title, it really doesn't equate to effective results or some kind of extraordinary level of commitment or investment from your team members, from the people who provide some, level of, um, authority. You're in a position of authority and you're expecting them to give everything. And they really don't know if they trust you to do that, to invest in you. So again, let's just understand that the three most important ways to lead people are by example, by example, by example. And that's a quote by Albert Schweitzer, right? Albert Schweitzer said that. I love that. So ideally, you are self-aware and you understand that it's not, really your impressive title that earns your respect. It's your behavior. So come on in. It's your behavior. Think about it. Your team members are working in their current capacity for lots of reasons, right? It could be as simple as putting food on the table for their families. Your fancy title, it might be impressive and important to you and your family, right? In your esteem, but it really doesn't inspire other people to produce, quality work or to invest in your vision. And so the truth is, people who say one thing and do another, they lose credibility. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? They lose credibility. So people who say one thing and do another, they lose credibility. So there's a few insights we want to share today. And today we're talking about leading by example and what that means, and of course the impact or the result of that. We want to make sure that we understand that our title, our positions of authority, does not necessarily equate to effective results or people being inspired to just go all in for you, right? So one of the many insights is everyone has a capacity to contribute to the overall organizational goals. Everyone does. Everyone is a leader, whether they are supervising others or owning themselves. So titles, I think we get all mixed up about titles, right? They don't equate to effective leadership skills or competencies, right? So your own behavior, that's really what makes the difference. That the person without the title or position of authority who displays leadership, they take initiative, they're completing their task, they are, demonstrating leadership skills. So when you are seeking people's commitment and they're investing in you, um, I would just ask you really to walk it like you talk it, right? Do those things that you would expect others to do. And that's what we're talking about, leading by example. So before you expect others to operate at a sustained level of excellence, first of all, you need to know what you believe and what you value. You want to be clear on your own guiding principles, right? Your own guiding principles before you say, I want these other people to invest in my vision, right? And and just to step back, this is the Better You project. This is the brand itself, and what we're talking about is Better You leadership, right? And some of the principles that we uh, uphold are, respond with a full body yes or a complete no. That's really about boundaries, and then self-awareness. Self-awareness is the winning ingredient when we're talking about growth and development. And you really don't want to take yourself so serious. You want to give yourself and others space and grace, because another one of those principles is that failing is a part of the process. And we seek forward momentum. We're about progress, not so much perfection. So when you're leading, just think about your own principles. You want to build trust and you want to earn respect. Another principle. And by the way, performance matters. That's a big principle. Performance matters. How you show up matters. And we want to show up first for ourselves, and then we serve others from the overflow. This is another principle. And then we don't compete, we collaborate, right? So you want to know what your guiding principles are. And so I'll just, ask that, do you know your guiding principles? Just to throw the question out there, do you know what you believe, what you value, what you hold dear? And so, just add that in the comments if you are very comfortable with your own guiding principles as you are asking other people to invest and commit to you and your vision, the organization's vision, right? So know what you believe first. That would be like huge, like right there. I'm gifting that to you. And then let's just step back, as we are focusing on leading by example. And so you want to ask the question. You want to know, do you believe it's more important to complete the mission, to get the mission done, the task done, or is it more important to develop people on your team, in your organization, who will complete the mission in an excellent manner? So it's two different, philosophies or perspectives. Me, I'm all for developing the people, right? I'm all for inclusion. And then sometimes, we don't have enough time. There might be some emergency or something dangerous occurring, and we just need to get the job done, right? We're not trying to coddle you. That's not the same thing. So don't be all twisted about that. So just answer that question for yourself, though. Is it more important to complete the mission, to have people, you just want to get it done, right? Or are you one who values developing people so that everyone completes the mission, right? Or everyone understands what their role is in completing the mission. And so we're talking about leading by example. So when you know your core values, then you will know the proper strategy, right? What strategy do you need to manage processes and to lead people? What strategy, what approach will you use? And the approach matters. So I learned a whole lot of lessons when I served in the Army, in the U.S. Army. One of them was that my values were not the only values. My perspective was not the only perspective, right? That's about self-awareness. Although, I'm thinking, okay, I'm a decent individual, got a great experience. That does not mean that that's the only set of values, only set of perspectives that is relevant to running the organization or leading the organization. So I recommend, right? I recommend you focus on shared values of the organization, not lead, completely on what you believe is the path for the organization or for everyone. And so I'm gonna pause for a second. What do you think about that? Is it your way or the highway? Is it your perspectives, your values? Is it that you consider, or do you include other people's feedback, their perspective? Do you take that in consideration as you are the person in the position of authority? And so, yeah, what do you think about that? I'm looking, right? So what is it Are you more focused on completing the mission or developing the people? Just put that in for me. I'm looking. And along with that lesson, my values were not the only values, right? Also learned that, what a leader actually does is more important than what they say. You might be articulate and charismatic and say all these great things and make me feel good. But then I got to watch what you actually do, right? Because I know that's what matters most. So your teammates, listen to me now, your teammates are gauging your commitment and your investment to the organization and to them. They're looking at, whether you are consistent and do you possess integrity. And I found that that is more important, consistency and integrity. So they want to know that your words and your behavior are actually consistent. So we're talking about leading by example, right? So one of the things that I've noticed is that exemplary leaders, effective leaders, they really set an example. Set an example by ensuring that their actions are aligned with their values, right? Their actions are aligned with their values, and then through their daily actions, really you can see how that's demonstrated towards their commitment to the organization and to others. Because we have the actions and the values, shared values, they are aligned, right? You do one thing and say another, I don't know what to expect from you. So leading by example is much more effective than leading by intimidation or by directives, right? Or because I said so, right? Without actually investing in the people. So ideally, you want people to commit to completing their task or participating in the process because they choose to do so. That ideally, you want people to be motivated, to be inspired to do the work, as opposed to you beating them over the head to do it, right? So they're more likely to choose to invest in your vision, right? Just think about that. They're more likely to choose to invest in your vision when you demonstrate whatever you just said, whatever it is you're doing it. You demonstrate that you believe what you say. You demonstrate it. So we often prove that something is important to us by doing whatever it is we're asking others to do, and we give our time, our attention, our resources, and then we're setting an example, by that, because we're walking it like we're talking. For example, all we hear, wear your mask, wear your mask, wear your mask. So if I'm the one saying wear a mask, then I need to have a mask on when it's appropriate, right? I need to have a mask on. If I say that we're not going to call any employees at home after 6, well, I'm not going to call you at 7 like, yeah, just this one time, right? Or you might have, say, well, in meetings, because we're doing all these virtual meetings now, right? You might be saying, well, let people complete their thoughts. Stop interrupting people. And then you're like, but I am the boss, so I'll interrupt as I choose. So you want to actually, walk it like you talk it. Lead by example, right? Those are some simple examples, but the whole point is you want to be effective, right? And you want to have a strong team, and so that's what we're talking about, leading by examples. So if you're in a leadership position, then you know that you have a responsibility to your team. You have a responsibility. So they're looking to you for guidance and strength. That's part of what being a leader is all about, right? And a big part of your responsibility is to lead them with your own actions. That's huge. And people are like, well, that's pretty hard. Leading and living by example. It's not as hard as it might sound. It's more like, an easy path. So if your team knows that you're also, you'll do whatever you expect from them, then they're more likely to work hard to help you achieve your goal. And so that's what we have talked about today, right? Leading by example and why that's important. You want to maintain credibility. That would be the most important thing. You want to maintain credibility. And so you want to, if there's something you're saying that is important to you, then you do it first, right? You show that it's important. Wear a mask. Okay, I'm going to put my mask on, right? And that's, when they're watching and when they're not watching, right? So you want to do those things that you profess to be important. So that's where we are. Today's topic, leading by example, here on the Better You Leadership podcast, right? We want to walk it like we talk it. I'm going to give you the opportunity to join the next round of the Women's Leadership Intensive. Next one is March 13th. March 13th, 2021. 2021 is turning out to be an amazing year, right? And so we want to go ahead and get a handle on our own action plan. What is it we're going to do, right? So that, we are actually focusing on investing in our mindset, our skill set, and our network. And this will be the opportunity for you to do that. So go to angelaodom.com, angelaodom.com, and sign up for the next round of the Women's Leadership Intensive. With that said, my name is Angela Odom, and I am so excited, really, just to come with you every single time as we share leadership topics, different topics. So as always, I'm rooting for you. You all take care and have an amazing day. And remember, lead by example. Take care.